WWE has begun Seth Rollins' second reign as World Heavyweight Champion. The Architect and his group are in charge of Raw, as seen by the elimination of the Red Brand this week. At the Clash in Paris Premium Light event, Rollins will have to defend his world title against LA Knight, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns. There is a chance that Seth Rollins will lose the World Heavyweight Championship shortly if Braun Breaker takes over the Vision and betrays the Visionary. In the absence of Rollins, Braun had already attempted to take over the heel alliance, but it wasn't successful as he returned at TUW SummerSlam. In a possible scenario, the former Intercontinental Champion might turn on Seth Rollins at Clash in Paris, which would cause him to lose the championship. Following this, Breaker could take over the Vision and entrench himself as the new leader. The reason behind Breaker turning his back on the world champion could be because to Rollins not disclosing his plan B to the former NFT champion. When the Architect made his WWE return, he confirmed that Paul Heyman and Becky Lynch were the only people who understood that Rollins' injury angle was part of his plan B. Rollins hiding important information from Breaker, even if he is a member of the group, could cause problems between the two. This situation is based on guesswork, but it doesn't look like there is any friction between Rollins and Breaker right now. In a recent chat on Busted Open, Bully Ray talked about the story of Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. WWE veteran compared the angle with Shawn Michaels and Diesel Kevin Nash, where Nash turned on HBK due to his bad treatment. Ray believed that Braun would eventually turn on the Visionary in the same manner after getting mistreated by him. It remains to be seen what will happen in the future months and how things will unfold between the two Vision members on WWE RLW. Seth Rollins has been one of WWE's most consistent and captivating champions in recent years, with his reign as World Heavyweight Champion confirming his reputation as one of the company's most reliable top talents. Known for his flashy flair, surprising charisma, and in-ring excellence, Rollins has been the face of the Crimson brand since gaining the title. His visionary image has resonated with fans, and his ability to merge character work with superior wrestling has made him one of the most complete performers in the business. However, as is the nature of the wrestling world, no reign lasts forever, and the question now arises, might we be entering the final chapter of Rollins' time as champion with another Raw star ready to step up and take over the division? WWE has always thrived on development and change, and while Rollins has been a dominant champion, the prospect of a fresh face at the top is never far from the imaginations of fans and management. With Raw filled with talent, it's not difficult to picture a situation in which someone from the current roster rises up, seizes the momentum, and becomes the guy to dethrone Rollins. In recent weeks, WWE has subtly teased prospective threats to his reign. Rollins has faced great competition from the likes of Drew McIntyre, Damon Priest, and even younger talents like Braun Breaker, each of whom may be positioned as the next big thing. The storytelling has leaned into the image that Rollins is a battling champion, prepared to take on all challengers. But that openness to competition could be the same thing that costs him the title. One of the more intriguing possibilities is the possibility that another Raw superstar may not just beat Rollins, but take over his job fully, assuming his mantle as the dominant figure on the brand and possibly even a modified version of his visionary ideology. TUI has dealt with these kinds of plot dynamics before, where one performer overtakes another, not simply in status but in influence. The Vision is not only a gimmick, it's a leadership role, a guiding presence for the Raw brand. For someone to take it away from Rollins would signify more than simply winning a belt. It would imply a full-blown passing of the torch. From a booking perspective, the timing could be opportune for such a shift. Rollins has been battling ailments over the past year, and while he's continued to provide high-quality matches, there have been suggestions that he may require time off to fully heal. If that's the case, WWE may use this as an opportunity to create a new focal point for the Red brand, giving Rollins time to heal while keeping the championship scenario hot. Damian Priest, for instance, is an interesting contender. As a member of the Judgment Day, he has been extensively featured on Raw and has matured into a main event caliber fighter. Priest's presence would offer a darker, more imposing take on the brand's direction, a sharp contrast to Rollins' flamboyant theatrical exuberance. This contrast might make for an intriguing transition storyline, especially if Priest plays up the idea that his vision for Raw is superior than Rollins. Another candidate is Drew McIntyre, who has been on a path of frustration and redemption for months. Man has all the tools, stature, visibility, and credibility to step in as the brand's top champion. A victory over Rollins would not only restore McIntyre's status in the main event, but also give fans a hard-hitting, no-nonsense leader in place of Rollins' more showy style. Then there's the wilder component, someone like Braun Breaker, whose explosive athleticism and unmistakable star aura make him a long-term favorite to carry WWE's top trophies. While it might seem early for him to win the World Heavyweight Championship, WWE has been known to pull the trigger on surprise title changes to create hype and compel the fans to see someone in a new light. Imagine a plot line where Breaker asserts that Rollins' time is done and that the current generation doesn't need a visionary. It needs a conqueror, beyond the particular contenders. There's also the artistic question of whether Duluth wants to modify the tone of the World Heavyweight title picture. Rollins' reign has been distinguished by show-stealing matches and colorful promos, but a change might freshen up Raw storytelling and generate new rivalries. The visionary character works best when challenged, and losing the championship might even open the door for Rollins to evolve once again, as he has done several times in his career. The concept of a Raw star taking over the Vision also creates exciting creative possibilities. They may position themselves as the new head of the locker room, claiming to have exceeded Rollins in influence and competence. This would allow for a long-term conflict where Rollins fights not just for the title, but for his identity and legacy. Such a tale could carry WWE through numerous pay-per-views, keeping spectators invested in both the champion and the challenger. Of course, any decision to have Rollins surrender the championship will come down to timing, crowd responses, and WWE's bigger booking ambitions. Rollins is still tremendously popular, and taking the belt off him too soon could risk alienating fans who have enjoyed his reign. On the other side, wrestling thrives on surprise events, and the shock of Rollins losing, especially if it comes after months of dominance, may produce a tremendous buzz. In the end, the question isn't simply whether Seth Rollins will lose the WWE World Heavyweight title, but whether someone is truly ready to take up the mantle of the division. WWE's history demonstrates that champions inevitably fall, but the ones who follow them have to be able to shoulder the weight of the brand. Whoever steps into that role will not only be tasked with becoming the best in-ring performer, but also the heartbeat of Raw storytelling. For now, Rollins is at the top of his game, but the shadows are closing in, and the day may come sooner than imagined when another superstar asserts that it's their time to lead WWE into the future. If that day arrives, it will represent not just the conclusion of a title reign, but the beginning of a new era on Monday Night Raw, one without Seth Rollins, says the visionary, but with someone else driving the course of WWE's flagship show. Thanks for watching this video, and please follow our WWE official YouTube channel for more update.